there are unresolved killings around June 12. The likes of Kudirat Abiola lost their lives. Do you think, for example, maybe the government of the day should revisit and do, because some people are still pained. There are a few things, details that are not being revealed. Maybe the revelation of those things could bring a succors of some sort and some kind of healing to those families and people who are connected.
Let's all begin by accepting the fact that when you engage in activities like this, there will always be casualties. People should always understand that it's inevitable there'll be casualties. Time and time again, we have been betrayed. Okay, when Buhari came, he said he was going to order an investigation into all the unusual deaths, let's just put it this way, both within the military and the civilian. And we reminded him, when he was in power, where are the files? He said all these files will be dusted up, and where are the files? Let us see the result of this. I'm very glad that you raised this issue, this particular aspect. So it's a challenge also to the present government. Fulfill the pledges which were made by your delinquent predecessors. You pick up those files, dust them out. This is part and parcel. Very good question. It's part and parcel of the responsibilities of government. Let us know what really happened. Till tomorrow, we don't know factually who killed Delegiwa. We do not know who killed Bola Ige. But there are clues. Those clues exist. Thank you very much for raising that. Yes, let us enter this as a challenge for Tinubu. Bring up those files, dust them out, pursue those clues, reinvestigate, call back witnesses. There are many of us who have lots of clues to offer from our own modest investigations, and they're all over the world. Find out those who deliberately polluted the line of clues that would have led us to certain answers much, much earlier. Thanks a lot for that question.
My second question is IBB's account on what happened to the election and the aftermath. And he explained in his book what he did and what he did not. Put the blame to some people. I'd like to know what your views are about that on a day like this.
Well, let me tell you what I told him. I called him and I said, your memoir is not yet finished. Isn't it about time we name names in this matter? Babangida's book should be read side by side with that way everybody can judge how credible one version is rather than the other. I happen to know, and also in addition to Amaru's book, we did meet when he went into exile. And I know that one fact, one moment which I want us all to seize as absolutely factual, because it's been corroborated in many instances, was that Babangida was a general without an army. That was a tragic moment for the nation, because he was there. Whatever he wanted to do inside, we don't know, but we know also certain moves which he made. We know those who visited him at the time, those who added their weight to the annulment, both within the military and within the civil. We know the royal fathers who went to see him and said, on no account were they going to accept accepts the implementation of the results of that election. We know all of those, but it's not me who should write it. It's he who owes it to the nation, And so I told him, I said, you're going to write another book, because you haven't finished your memoirs yet. That's my position vis-a-vis his book.
And my last question, Prof. I'm very sure that those who, when they were putting together the names of the honorees, they might be skeptical about putting your name there because you had rejected national honors before. You said this is thematic, and you somewhat give a thumbs up for this. How is this different from the ones that you have rejected in the past?
I did not reject it. I was ambushed. I had no option. I accepted it. Remember, it was presented to me at the airport, and my colleagues were there to welcome me after the Nobel thing. I had to accept it. I had no choice. However, and this is part of the uses of these honors, there's one day when you can throw it back and you could use it as a weapon and say, I no longer want your honor. And this is what happened on this occasion. We were marching from the labor headquarters in Surulere, so there, to Tafawa Balewa Square. And we marched all the way. We got to Tafawa Balewa Square, and we found it had been locked against us, or rather barricaded by the military and the police, and I was outraged. And somehow I had a fear that the march would be prevented. And so I brought along my Nigerian CO, what was it at the time? CO, yeah, CO, anyway, one of the earlier ones. And so, CFR, okay, thank you. And so I was able to use it. So I took it out and threw it on the ground and spat on it. And as I said at the time on BBC, I said, there was something else I wanted to do to it, but I didn't want to be accused of indecent exposure. So I limited myself to just matching it. And somebody picked it up later on and returned it to me. Now, what shall I do with it? I think I will add it to Becker's honors posthumously and give it to his family. Yes, that's what I'll do with it.
It was about 2 hours plus conversation with Professor Wole Soyinka. The longer version of it you will find on our YouTube page on Channels Television. There's perhaps one portion that Professor spoke to the Nigerian youth about understanding the youth. Professor actually said, if you do not read, if you don't read, if you don't want to know, if you don't ask questions, instead of opening your mouth, keep shut. I mean, that's also part that I think younger people who did not witness June 12th and the struggles of some Nigerians in it and trying to misinterpret history should also try to listen to in the conversation with Professor Wole Soyinka.